season snowstorm may be on deck in less than 48 hours, but today is picture-perfect fall football weather. Crisp and cool at Soldier Field in the Windy City. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. On first down, Fields. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4, 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They'll run on first down with Moss. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. On play action, Fields. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
At the 28-yard line.
Four yards remain for 2nd down. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Mon looks to throw. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Off the play fake, Mon. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Rolling to his right. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And his kick is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Takes it at the 7. And he returns this to the 22. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Mon now off of play action. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
Partner, he got the DB on his horse on that play. He certainly sold like it was going to be a deep route before breaking it back on the comeback towards the sideline.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Trucks over him. Fighting through, and he's got space. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because you know all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
6-0 our score after one. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Cook. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
2nd down and 3. Here's Mon. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Mon, a quick throw, complete. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Back to the ground, Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. Left side, Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6.
Makes the score Vikings 7, Bears 6.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're kind of searching for that magic elixir. You know, they're moving the football a little bit, but not with any great consistency.
I love that term you just used, elixir, right?
Old school.
Old school. I love that, because you don't want to put too much pressure on your defense as well. All right, if you're kicking field goals, that's great, but your defense has to keep going out there and holding the other team. You're not giving them any cushion to work with, and that gets tougher and tougher as the game goes along. Put the ball in the end zone and get 6s. That's the ambrosia that they're looking for.
Ambrosia, and trying to erase this deficit. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing. and all the pressure that's on him. You hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared.
Touchdown, Vikings! And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, this is a guy who runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump. And he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So it's a gain of 12 there on the reception, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Fields now to throw. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he will have the Bears 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
From the 50, here's Fields. And he fires one incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw. Fields. A throw left side taken in by Kmet. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 34-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
The throw over the middle taken in, and inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 49 yards on the ground for him so far. So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Handoff comes to Montgomery. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll run with Montgomery. Oh, it springs free. Montgomery loses it. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. On first down, here's Mon. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Well, they go play action here. Mon. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
This time they stay on the ground. Cook able to escape, and he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Mon going to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Jalen Johnson up to make the tackle.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games. And we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Calling the gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. Now Mon. This to C.J. Ham, the fullback. And he will have a Vikings first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Mon to the air on 1st and 10. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Jaron Reed Gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Another try after the first down sack. Mond. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Cook following the penalty. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mond eluding the pressure right. That's complete to his running back, Jefferson. A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play, stepping out from the middle of the field and really making a big hit. Did not get free, but boy, that's a tough area to go into when you're going into his spot.
Finds a seam inside the 40. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 31-yard line.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On 1st down, it's Cook. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 76 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Cook. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 15 now. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Yeah, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. On first down, it's Fields. Swings this out here for Cohen. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He completes it to Evans. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Play action. It's Fields. His throw incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Fields on third down. And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They snap it to Fields. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a first down. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Fields. Touchdown! That's caught. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears get a bit closer. So this is now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
The extra point hits the left upright, but goes through anyway, as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here first and got his man complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big connection on that one. 32 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Getting the ball is Cook running left. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Brian Poole. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, you don't want to coach him, Charles, to stay in the pocket on every play, but I guess that's the danger of getting outside of the pocket, extending a play, and making a bad throw. Turns into 6 points the other way.
Yeah, sometimes when you get outside the pocket, your vision actually gets obscured a little bit, or you narrow it down too much, and you don't see all the defenders in the area.
So what can the Bears do here as they'll go for 2? They'll try and throw for it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their lead is hanging by a thread after that pick-6. But, look, they're still in the driver's seat. Now the question, how aggressive will they be on this drive? Time to find out. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 2nd and 1, Cook. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On the give is Nwangu. A beautiful fake. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They run it again with Cook. And he's going to take this down close to a 1st down at about the Bears' 24. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. The kick by Joseph is good. And that will push the lead up to 5. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now a first down throw, Fields able to complete it to Montgomery, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know,
and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. They'll look to throw. Connects with Slayton. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 125 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a run with Cook. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for Minnesota, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville.